Please turn on your television and tune to Channel 21. Our morning news presentation will begin momentarily. Please pause for the moment of silence. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Salem Sun Devils, and welcome back. We are so excited to have you back today. We hope that you have a wonderful day. My name is Leanne Turnbull-Pallett, and I'm the principal here at Salem High School, and I'm so excited. We have a great day for you and some special treats for our freshmen that have returned to us face-to-face because we are so excited. Shortly after I finish this morning, you are going to hear from our assistant principals, and they're going to give you an overview of our expectations. We know that you've come into the building and you see tape on the floor and signs, and you know that you're supposed to be wearing masks at all times. So we want to make sure we present to you what those expectations and protocols are. We also are going to be doing lunch a little bit different this year, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Later on this afternoon, during second block, I will come back on to the PA announcement, and we'll talk about your schedule and how that applies to lunch. And then at the end of the day, I will be coming back on in the afternoon to dismiss you and wish you a good afternoon. So I just wanted to say good morning. We are so excited to welcome you back. Please be patient as we venture into new waters this year, and all of this is brand new. You've been wonderful so far. We've been so excited about the participation for our students in advisory and just in class in general. So teachers are excited to see you. They have a new venture with doing this hybrid model. So again, just your patience would be greatly appreciated. And thank you for being here today. Thank you for being online with us. And we hope that you have a wonderful, great Sun Devil day. Thank you.
This is Mrs. Bissell, the Visual and Performing Arts Academy Coordinator. Salem is committed to excellence, as you can see by our school's mission statement. We challenge each and every one of you to succeed, achieve, lead, excel, and make a positive difference. I challenge each of you to leave Salem High School a better place than how you found it. Make your mark. The administrative team, from left to right, consists of Mr. Mark Harrison, our Student Activities Coordinator, Ms. Jennifer Knight, the 11th grade Assistant Principal, and oversees 9th grade students with the last names G through M, Mr. Robert Turan, our School Counseling Director, Mrs. Leanne Pallett, our School Principal, Mr. Jairo Padilla, the 12th grade Assistant Principal, and oversees 9th grade students with the last names N through Z, Mr. Greg Moxley, the 10th grade Assistant Principal, and he oversees 9th grade students with the last names A through F, Miss Amy Skydebor, our School Improvement Specialist, and Mrs. Bissell, our Visual and Performing Arts Academy Coordinator. Our school counseling team consists of Mr. Turan, the department chair, and oversees students with the last names A through BRI. Ms. Catherine Kressel oversees students with the last names BRO through FA. Ms. Alicia Zimba oversees students with the last names FE through JOM. Mr. Brian Lynch oversees students with the last names JON through M. Ms. Amanda Wagley oversees students with the last names N through SL, and Ms. Nicole Levitt oversees students with the last names SM through Z. You can contact your school counselor by using the link below. You can also reach out via Schoology and email to talk and meet with your counselor. We have a great support team here at Salem High School. It consists of Ms. DeJarnette, Mr. Marrero, Mrs. Marrero, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Ebert, Mr. Day, Ms. Bailey, our school resource officer, Officer Donahue, Ms. Jackson, our student support specialist, and Mrs. Melvin in attendance. Our clinic staff consists of Ms. Jamie Mountain and our clinic assistant, Ms. Ellen Gill. A note from the nurses. If you or one of your family members test positive for COVID, please let the school nurse know as soon as possible. If you have any other health conditions, injuries, please notify the nurse. Maintain healthy habits. Make sure you brush those teeth daily, bathe regularly, wash your clothes regularly, including hoodies and jackets. The clinic is not for bathroom use. Please note the screening questions for COVID-19. If you answer yes to any of the questions, you should not enter the school building. Please stay home. Again, safety and your health are paramount during these times.
Good morning, Sun Devils. This is Mrs. Knight. I'm the 11th grade assistant principal, and I also oversee 9th grade students with the last names G through M. I'm here to talk with you this morning about a couple of items of note, including Sun Devil Summit, our lunch protocols, and one-to-one devices. First of all, let's talk for a minute about Sun Devil Summit, which is our student advisory program. Our focus in the student advisory program is social emotional learning. What does that mean? There are 5 different competencies to social emotional learning, including self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. Sun Devil Summit Advisory is our space to build community with our Sun Devil family. Our Sun Devil Summit advisory times are shifting a little bit now that we're back face-to-face. If you have first lunch, you're going to eat lunch first, and then your advisory is going to be from 10:50 until 11:15. If you eat second lunch, that means you're going to go to advisory first. So your advisory will be from 10:15 until 10:40. Since we're talking about lunch, let's go ahead and look at that schedule and talk about some of our expectations for lunch now that we're back face to face. It's our expectation that students eat only in designated locations, which for the vast majority of students, that's going to be the cafeteria. Make sure while you're in the cafeteria that you're maintaining your physical distancing, social distancing. There are only 3 students per lunch table, the big lunch tables. You'll see the stickers on them. Make sure you're cleaning up after yourself. That's always good manners, but particularly during COVID, you need to be cleaning up after yourself. Absolutely no outside deliveries will be accepted. You see we've got on the left-hand side our lunch group 1 schedule, lunch, summit, and then third block. And then we have our lunch group 2 schedule, summit, lunch, third block. And you see the different names of the teachers who have first lunch and second lunch. Safety first. So not just in the cafeteria, but all around the building. And not just COVID. Let's talk about a couple of different safety matters. Of course, right now we want everybody wearing their mask at all times. We all know that's the safest thing we can do. Maintain your social or physical distancing, but make sure you're staying socially connected. If you see something, say something. What does that mean? Always listen to your gut. If you see something that doesn't look quite right, you need to say something to an adult in the building, your teacher, an administrator, your school counselor, and then let us look into it. Do not prop open doors to the outside. That poses a danger for all of us. Do not ever open a door for anyone who's outside. We have one entrance where folks can come in through the front, and we always have a security guard there. So you do not, even if it's a student, do not open the door for anyone ever. Make sure you always redirect everyone to the main entrance and tell an adult. Keep your classroom doors locked. Fire alarm or a lockdown, make sure you're always taking it seriously because you don't really know if it's a drill or not. Let's take a look at our hallway guidelines because we're going to be traveling a little differently down the hallway now than we used to. We need to make sure that we're following all of the one-way hallway signs. You need to walk 6 feet apart from others, just like we've been doing since March in the grocery stores and different places out and about. You have to maintain that physical distancing with other folks. Walk on the right-hand side of all two-way hallways. You're always going to be on the right. If you're in the hallway during a class period, you must have a pass signed by a teacher available to show any adult that asks for it. So our passes this year are paper passes, and of course, they're going to be disposable, not reusable. No students are permitted in the hallway during the first and last 10 minutes of each class. Please don't put your teachers in a bad predicament. Don't ask them if you can leave the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes of class because we do not permit that. All right, let's look at some COVID guidelines and the Student Code of Conduct. So Student Code of Conduct is the card that you sign every year saying that you have read the behavioral expectations as a student in Virginia Beach City Public Schools. But we needed to add in a little bit here about the masks. So what is going to happen if you do not have your mask on? Your first violation is what we call a level 3 intervention, which could be something like a detention. We're going to ask for you to be removed from the class, and we're going to move you to a room called the isolation room. while your assistant principal contacts your parents to let your parents know what's going on. If the student agrees to put his or her mask back on, then you're going to be able to return the class. Now, the second time that happens, you're going to get a level 5 intervention, which means a day of out-of-school suspension. So you're going to be moved to the isolation room, and your assistant principal is going to contact your parent. You're going to be removed from school for the remainder of the day. And then you're also going to be assigned out-of-school suspension to begin the following school day. The third time, same as the second, but it's going to be 2 days of out-of-school suspension. And then the fourth time, it says level 5 through 8, what is out-of-school suspension, but up to a level 8 could be a recommendation. Your assistant principal could potentially go to our school, to our principal, and say, are we feeling like this is a recommendation for a long-term suspension, which means you would be removed from Salem High School. So we would move you to an isolation room, contact your parent, removal from school for the remainder of the day, OSS up to an expulsion recommendation effective the next school day. So we're very serious about keeping you guys safe and healthy, and that means all of us are going to have to cooperate and wear those masks. Let me go ahead and talk to you guys about our cell phone expectations here at Salem High School. In the classroom, it's the discretion of the teacher. If your teacher says you may not have your cell phone out, that means you may not have your cell phone out. I don't see why you would need a cell phone in your classroom, because you have your electronic device. You have your Chromebook, you have your laptop that's been issued by Virginia Beach City Public Schools. So if your teacher says power off and put it away, that's the policy in each individual teacher's classroom. He or she gets to decide that, and administration supports it. In the hallways or the cafeteria, during class changes, we ask that you only have one earbud in. If you cannot either make or take a phone call or FaceTime anybody at any time at Salem High School. Cell phone calls and FaceTime is prohibited. You will not be doing that at Salem High School. Please do not bring your portable speakers to school. They are not allowed here. Please note that Salem High School is not responsible for any item that you bring to school and you misplace, whether it's earbuds or a cell phone. We are not responsible. Now let's go ahead and talk about your electronic device expectations. And I'm going to turn that over to our assistant principal, Mr. Moxley.
Hello, Salem High School. This is Greg Moxley. I am an assistant principal here in charge of 10th graders and freshmen with the last names A through F. And I'd like to talk to you about your electronic devices and our expectations here for those. One, you're going to need to bring your charged device daily. And you're also going to need to only use that device for instructional purposes. Furthermore, you're going to be responsible for that device until you graduate. So should it become lost or damaged, that's your responsibility. Any damage that does occur, or if your device goes missing, you'll need to report that to Mr. Whitcop. He's located in room, but if you have trouble locating him, you can just ask your teacher for some assistance. What I'd really like to talk to you about is digital citizenship. Social media is a great place in many ways. It allows us to connect with others and share ideas and things that we're interested in. But sometimes it can get a little too much. So please be mindful of what you post on any of social media sites. Any appropriate material posted there at any time could end up getting you in trouble. Here's our rule at Salem. If you post something on social media and it causes a disruption in this building, you are subject to disciplinary action. I'll repeat that. If you post something on social media and it causes a disruption in this building, you could be subject to disciplinary action. So what are the characteristics of a Sun Devil? Well, a Sun Devil has a positive attitude. They set goals and they attend class every day. They always arrive on time, which means before 7:20. They're prepared in class. They have all their supplies and a charged device. They study daily, they complete assignments, and they participate in class discussions. They ask for assistance. They seek the advice of their counselor. They use academic support blocks wisely. They attend tutoring sessions when they need to, and they're aware of what their grades are on Student View. They also know what's going on through the Salem website. They're kind, they're compassionate to others, and they're resilient. That means they don't give up when things get tough. What are our behavior expectations for you? Well, we expect you to act like a Sun Devil. So what are the obstacles for Sun Devils? Well, what we've seen is that attendance and tardiness can really get in the way. You got to show up, and you got to show up on time. In a second, Mr. Padilla will talk to you about disrespect, defiance, and disruption. We just don't have any place for that. If you do decide to skip class, well, that's going to be a problem. Dress code and social media. We've already talked about social media. Again, if you're posted on social media and it causes a disruption in this building, you could be subject to disciplinary action. So let's talk about the attendance policy. In Virginia Beach, there is an excessive absence policy, which is if you miss too many days over the course of a semester, you could not receive credit for that, the class. Additionally, if you're 15 minutes late, then you are counted as absent. So let's say I'm just 2 or 3 minutes late. Well, guess what? You're still late. In that case, you're going to have to go see Miss Melvin at the tardy window. It's located next to the nurse's office. Mr. Moxley, what if I arrived to school late? You're going to want to check in at the security desk. And then from there, you will probably want to go see Miss Melvin. If you're an early release, don't worry about that. We'll find you. School is from 7:20 to 2 p.m. And here's something that's real important. If you're absent for some reason, get with your teacher, get your makeup work, and get it done. See your teacher's expectations to figure out what you need to do there. All right, guys, remember, it's a great day to be a Sun Devil.
As administrators, we consistently see students for the 3 Ds: disrespect, defiance, and disruption. Here's an example. Your teacher asks you to put your phone away. A few minutes later, you have it out again. That's defiance. Your teacher asks you to put it away. You become argumentative. Now you have disrespect. Things escalate. You start yelling and create a scene. Now you have disruption. Don't let things escalate over something minor and do what's asked of you the first time. 3 years ago, we developed a committee to review the dress code policy. The committee consisted of teachers, parents, and students. Everyone was given the opportunity to review the previous dress code policy and discuss changes. Student voice was crucial, and we heard what you had to say. So after much deliberation, the committee agreed on the current dress code policy. Students may be asked to change clothes or will be sent to ISS for the remainder of the school day. Repeated and/or multiple violations will result in more serious disciplinary action. So, what's wrong with this dress code? If you look at the picture on the left, she's wearing a hat, she has on spaghetti straps, a revealing top, her midriff is showing, her shorts are too short, and the young man is also wearing a hat. His pants are sagging, he has chains, and is wearing a bandana. All of these infractions are considered to be a dress code violation. In addition, but not pictured here, if your jeans or pants have holes in them, the holes must be below your fingertips when you hold your arms by your side. I will say that again. If your jeans or pants have holes in them, the holes must be below your fingertips when you hold your arms by your side. Again, we have high expectations, and failure to meet them will have consequences. Your consequences typically start at the top list, moving downward with each infraction. So, who's the most responsible person for your success? That's right, you are. You will see this poster of the graduate profile in your classroom and around the building and the characteristics of each graduate that should possess. For example, when you graduate, you should be good communicators, well-balanced, critical thinkers, you're responsible, cross-culturally competent, you're resilient learners, problem solvers, and knowledgeable. So when you graduate Salem High School, these are the characteristics we want every student to possess. Business leaders across the country will also agree that these are critical skills needed to be successful. It will be our goal to ensure you leave here meeting this profile, but you must do your part.
Good morning, Salem Sun Devils. This is Mr. Harrison in the Student Activities Office. My portion of this program is to encourage you to get involved with activities at Salem. We have a wonderful tradition of involvement with our student body and a huge buy-in, and we want you to be a part of it this year as well. We ask that you look to orient yourself with the club and organizational opportunities where there are slides with all of our clubs and organizations. And we remind you that individual success rates are fostered through involvement. And there is no substitute for what you will learn in terms of teamwork and accepting a role through a group atmosphere. Also, those of you who plan on participating in athletics, we remind you that you will need to have an up-to-date VHSL physical that was taken past May 1st of 2020. Go to VHSL.org and get your folks to get you to a doctor if you haven't already. As you can see, our sports seasons will be moving to a different time slot this year, and we will have a reduced season in order to get it in. Those of you who do debate, drama, and other VHSL activities, you will also go in the winter. And last but not least, where do I fit in? Are you unsure of where you fit in? Let me give you some advice. Attend Salem school-wide events. Attend Salem athletic contests. Try out for a sport. There are plenty of spots for aspiring athletes. Or join a club. We know that you have interest. But the big thing is that 90% of life is just showing up. So if you're going to be enrolled here, we want you to be a part of it. Thank you and have a great day and a good school year. Good morning, class of 2024, and welcome to Salem High School. This is Mr. Harrison, and I'm your Student Activities Coordinator, and I want to welcome you back into the building and wishing you the best in 4 years of high school with us here at Salem. We've got a great tradition. Also want you to be aware that on Tuesday the 13th, we will be taking your underclass photos for the yearbook, and we'll be taking them by alpha order, and we'll give you the information you need soon to do that. But the biggest thing we need you to know today is that on Tuesday, we want you to dress your best and look good like so many Sun Devils who have come through our school before you. So again, picture day is on Tuesday, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the hallways. Thank you.